This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. It's November 1st. I'm Christina Laurie. With just 2 days to go, the Wisconsin Elections Commission wants you to be prepared before you head to the polls on Election Day. It's now out with a list of things every voter should know, and now we're going to show you those. This Election Day, all voters are asked to wear face coverings, but they are not required. All voting locations will have plenty of cleaning products, hand sanitizer, and PPE. Voters who have not already mailed their absentee ballots should drop them off by 8 p.m. on election night. Do not mail them in at this point. You can find your polling place on their website, myvote.wi.gov. Polls open at 7 a.m. on Tuesday and close at 8 p.m. Wisconsin is on the list of 5 states that could see issues with militia members intimidating voters at polling sites. We want to tell you more about this. Local sheriff's departments will be working with state and federal officials to monitor for potential problems. The Wisconsin Elections Commission says people are allowed to act as observers, but they have to follow the rules of the election workers. If you feel intimidated or threatened at your polling place, the WEC says you should tell an election worker. An estimated 400 citizen soldiers and airmen from the Wisconsin National Guard are reporting for duty this morning to train and receive their Election Day assignments. They'll be assisting election officials as poll workers on Tuesday. Guard members have played a pivotal role in Wisconsin's last 3 elections. Governor Tony Evers called for their help due to a shortage of poll workers during this pandemic. Studies show one of the main reasons people don't vote is because they can't get to the polls. Several organizations want to make sure that not having a car is not a barrier this year. So Union Cab, the Urban League, Lyft, Uber, and Madison's African American Council of Churches are a few of the groups offering free rides this election day. Pastor Dr. Marcus Allen with the AACC says there are a lot of people who fought long and hard for the right to vote, and no one who is eligible should pass up the opportunity.
So much voter suppression is happening where people are trying to be discouraged to vote, but we know how important it is for people to vote, and we want to make it as easy as possible to get people to where they need to be and vote during this election.
Other groups are offering discounted rides. We have a list of who is offering what and how to get in contact with them under the Elections tab on channel3000.com. The rental bikes in downtown Madison will also be free on Tuesday. To help voters get to the polls, riders can access the passes on B-Cycle's website, madison.bcycle.com. Also this weekend, businesses in the nation's capital are boarding up in anticipation of what could happen on election night. Dozens of stores located within blocks of the White House are preparing for the worst, covering windows and doors. During the summer, businesses also boarded up to protect against vandalism during protests around the White House. And as we head into the week, it can seem like voters on opposite sides of the aisle are living on pretty much 2 different planets. And in some ways, we are. Political science expert Kathy Kramer says she's seen the gulf between people of different political affiliations grow here in Wisconsin. Kramer says politicians create an us versus them narrative on purpose, so you can blame one group for your misgivings.
Identity's like normal, right? It's a healthy thing to have a really strong sense of who you are and who are your people, but it's a problem when all of our identities line up on one side of a divide, right? And we don't ever see ourselves as similar to those other people. When we're encouraged to think about who we are and who we are not, it does take away from our skill of recognizing like the common good or what it is that we have in common.
A Marquette Law School poll taken last month shows 1/3 of respondents say they've stopped talking politics with someone this year. So how can we bridge this gap? We asked Professor Kramer that.
I think the solution is people recognizing, I think a lot of us live in Wisconsin because we believe in Wisconsin nice. Like, we believe in the work hard, play hard ethic here, where people are basically good to one another. And to remind ourselves of that and embrace it and realize that the state is what it is because of the people who live here.
Now, Kramer says it's often easy to overstate the difference between rural and urban folks, when in reality, we're all Wisconsinites. And we'd also like to remind you, our entire team here at News 3 will be working to bring you the latest live local coverage throughout election night. We'll be streaming content nonstop on channel3000.com and our streaming app, Channel 3000 Plus. Just head to channel3000.com/apps to find your connection to our coverage. We just shared a lot of information, so now let's take a breather and get a check of our Sunday forecast, and a major change on the way, Aaron.
Yeah, it certainly is, as we're going to see some pretty cold conditions for today, but we have some nice weather in the forecast. But before we get into that, I want to talk about the tropics. We talked about the system yesterday. This has actually now formed into a tropical storm, Eta. This is the sixth letter of the Greek alphabet, and this is actually making its way through the Caribbean, and eventually will have some impacts into Central America going through the work week as we head towards Tuesday, likely to become a Category 1 hurricane, but still got to keep an eye on that as we go through the next couple of days, as there is potential it could make its way closer to the Gulf of Mexico and maybe have some potential impacts into the U.S. Later in the week into next weekend. Meanwhile, for us here in Wisconsin, we got the wind to deal with for today. We have a wind advisory in effect through the morning hours into the early portion of this afternoon, as we do have some wind gusts pretty high, anywhere from 20 to up to near 40 miles per hour at times. So those gusts are going to continue through most of today. And like I mentioned, it's going to be on the chilly side. We're stuck in the 30s all day today. Today's high 38 degrees. But the good news, we have some really nice weather coming our way, and I'll have a check of that in our extended forecast in just a bit.
Thank you so much, Aaron. It's nice to finally get some nicer weather on the way. Something else to add to your weekly to-do list is getting your flu shot. Doctors say do not wait. This year's vaccine is especially important for people over the age of 65 who are at higher risk of getting both the flu and the coronavirus. That's why doctors recommend that older people ask about getting a high-dose vaccine, which has 4 times more antigen than the regular flu shot.
As we age, our bodies have a bit more difficulty making that antibody response to a regular dose vaccine. So if we expose people who are over the age of 65 to a higher dose of that antigen, they're more likely to make a much more robust response.
Some pharmacies and doctors are reporting limited supplies of that high-dose vaccine, or say it's no longer in stock. In that case, doctors say you should take whatever shot is available, because it can take up to 2 weeks after getting the vaccine for your body to develop the antibodies it needs for protection. Something else to keep in mind is when you get your flu shot. Doctors say you should plan to get vaccinated based on how much sleep you got the previous night. Being short on sleep can make your body half as receptive to the vaccine, making it largely ineffective. Starting this week, local health officials are making it easier for everyone to get their flu shots for free. Starting Wednesday, Public Health Madison and Dane County will be expanding services for their free drive-through flu clinic at the Alliant Energy Center. Initially, only adults and kids who didn't have insurance or had Badger Care could use the clinic. Now, anyone with Medicaid or Medicare can also come to get a free shot. The drive-through clinic is open Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 8 until 4, and Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon until 8. It is 7:08 this morning. You will definitely need your coat outside today, and some snow pants too if you're feeling adventurous. The slopes at Tyrrell Basin are open for the first time this season. We'll take you there next. And as we head to break, here's a live look outside. Aaron is tracking our Sunday forecast right after this.
Work smarter. Use the cloud to securely print, scan, and collaborate. GI Office Technologies, helping businesses like yours.
What's this election about? It's about the people who built this country. What's Biden done for working families? Nothing. Sold us out with NAFTA, now weekly selling us out with China. Trump? Say what you want, but he has our backs. Increased our take-home pay, gave us better trade deals, playing hardball with China, bringing jobs back home. Trump? He's put American workers first.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
He's our independent voice who answers to no one but us, Todd Novak. Todd Novak is working across the aisle, passing the bipartisan COVID-19 relief bill. helping hospitals and communities get the resources needed to fight the coronavirus. Todd Novak is helping families, small businesses, and farmers as we work to rebuild the economy safely. And Todd Novak led the bipartisan effort to make sure our water is clean and safe for future generations. Our voice, Todd Novak for State Assembly.
It's Chevy Truck Month. It's Deck Building Month. It's Toy Hauling Month. It's Explore New Ground Month. It's the month to get things done. Make it your own and make every month Chevy Truck Month.
Get a total value of $5,500 on this 2020 Silverado Crew Cab pickup. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance towards the purchase of eligible accessories. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Wisconsin weather can be frustrating. Get the latest forecast, alerts, and detailed traffic reports from the News 3 Now team. Download the Channel 3000 Firstborn app, sponsored by Group Health Cooperative, and be prepared for anything headed our way.
Real customers are experiencing a real difference with Spectrum Internet and TV.
The speed is insane. It's always right there. Just boom.
It was easy to connect all of my devices, and I was able to find a plan that was affordable for me.
I'm saving money, and I'm even getting more speed.
Get the speed you need to do all the things you love on all your devices with Spectrum Internet, delivering the fastest starting speeds for the price. 200 megabits. Switch now for $44.99 a month. Call 833-918-4499.
With Spectrum TV, the picture quality is incredible. I feel like I'm in the movie.
The amount of stuff available on Spectrum On Demand is just never ending.
Add Spectrum TV and enjoy more free HD and more free on demand. Plus, use the Spectrum TV app to watch live TV on the go. All from $44.99 a month. Call 833-918-4499.
Spectrum gives me the best deal no matter what.
Every day I'm saving money.
Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. Ask about our easy self-install options to install your new services yourself. Call 833-918-4499.
Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
Welcome back. This election day, Madison's Black Chamber of Commerce is helping voters get to the polls. And this year, they're concerned about minority voters in particular. They're hoping black voters will turn out and say a lot is on the ballot for them. Camille Carter, president of Madison's Black Chamber of Commerce, joins us this morning to talk about some of the most important issues. Good morning, Camille.
Good morning, Christina. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming back. So when a lot of people think about voting, they think about the top of the ticket race, the Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, but there are a lot of local races and referendums on the ballot too. So why is it so important for all voters, but black voters especially, to vote this election?
We have to remember that voting is really our power. When you vote, you actually influence policies, you influence how schools districts are run, you influence how businesses are run, and supportive services that wrap around these very important pathways to greater economic empowerment. So to not vote is really to surrender your power and to surrender your voice, and we really don't want that to happen. We are in a critical time where we really need to make sure that no one is left behind. So we really want to encourage everyone to get out and vote.
There's that saying, all politics is local, and that's definitely what you're suggesting too. So is there a place where people who might not have voted yet, they don't feel as educated about the issues as they want to be before Election Day? Can they call you guys and get any sort of help or advice?
We have been, we are certainly not the experts there. We have been helping individuals with very, level 1 questions and directing them to our city clerk officials, directing them to organizations that have been helping with getting people out to the polls, and also to the vote.org website as well. But we are happy to help and navigate anyone in this process.
And if you don't have the answer, you'll have the connections to help find that answer. So thank you for doing that. And something else you're also helping with this election day is physically getting voters to the polls. I know Mr. Claude Gilmore was on our show a few weeks ago, and he said that he himself would volunteer his time driving anyone to the polls if they didn't have a ride. Can you talk a little bit about what you're offering on Election Day itself?
It's really hands and boots on the ground in whatever way, in any way possible that we can help. We are available to be of assistance. If it's rides, if it's, really at this point in time, we really have to physically get out there to the polls. So we are certainly available, and you can come to our website, give us a call, and we're happy to be of assistance.
And we'll put all that information up on our website as well, so we can connect prospective voters with the people who are helping them make their voices heard. Camille, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Christina, and go vote, everyone. Thank you.
That's a great final word. Thank you, Camille. Now we want to change things up and take a look at this. Thankfully, most of us didn't see too much snow earlier this week, but it is now officially cold enough for Tyrrell Basin to make its own. The ski slopes located just outside of Mount Horeb are back open for their first weekend this season. And in other wintry news, the ice castles are returning to Lake Geneva this year, but with some new health measures in place. Tunnels and crawl spaces will be clearly marked as one way, so there's limited face-to-face interaction with other visitors, and everyone, of course, will be asked to wear masks. Ice artisans will begin growing and harvesting icicles in late November, and if all goes as planned and the weather permits, the ice castles will open in early 2021. Luckily, not cold enough for ice castles just yet, and we have some changes on the way.
Yeah, we certainly do. Don't want to think about ice anytime this week. Today, I will say, is the coldest day of the next 10. So if you can get through today, we got some great weather in the forecast. We have a lot of clouds in place today as we look over Madison right now. It's also fairly windy. You can see the camera shaking there just a little bit, even the flags whipping on top of the building there. 31 degrees. The wind is northwest at 16 miles per hour. That's ushering in all that colder air for today. Yesterday, we made it up into the 50s, and a few spots did actually touch 60 yesterday afternoon, thanks to that southwest wind and the sunshine. Today, though, we got 30s in place all day today, only topping out at 38 for a high this afternoon. Now, as we look at our temperatures, most of us are into the lower to middle 30s, a couple upper 20s. We have 30 in the Dells, though, 31 in Madison and Camp Douglas, 32 in Mineral Point, and 36 in Janesville. Notice our wind out of the northwest, anywhere from 10 to 25 miles per hour. So that's going to be continuing through the morning hours, sustained winds. We do actually have gusts over 30 at times, even a few gusts approaching 40 this morning. And when you factor in that wind with our chilly temperatures, we actually have some wind chills down into the teens to right around 20 this morning. So it's a chilly start, but luckily, like I mentioned, we have some better weather in the forecast after today. Even a few flakes flying out there. This will not amount to anything at all. But don't be surprised if you see a few flakes this morning with that cloud cover. Eventually, we will get some sunshine here later on this afternoon. What's going on, though, is we have a trough that's built in across the Great Lakes region. That's ushered in all that cold air from Canada, and that's going to push out of here pretty quickly. So we start to see that warming trend going through a majority of the work week. So by the middle of the week, notice all the green and yellow showing up. That's some rather mild weather as we see high temperatures topping out into the 60s, some 70s across the Central Plains, and we're going to see that mild weather continue right on into the weekend as well. So here's a look at how things play out on Future Track, at least for today. We'll see the clouds clearing out, so we will actually have a bit of sunshine for the afternoon. Still rather chilly, though, with highs only into the 30s. Today, topping out at 38 degrees, northwest wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Then for tonight, rather cold, down to 24 degrees. Could see some wind chills down into the teens as well. And a look at that extended forecast. Like I mentioned, it gets better after today. 53 on your Monday, a little breezy as well, but nicer by Tuesday and Wednesday. Look at those highs well into the 60s by the end of the work week. So not a bad forecast. Definitely not going to feel too much like November. At least today it will, but after today, not so much.
That's good news. I don't think anyone complains about 60s in November.
I don't think so. I will say, like, our average highs are right around 52 for today. So it's nice to have some above normal temperatures.
And if you are upset, some things should be kept to yourself.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aaron.
Sure thing.
The Vikings opened their season with a rough home loss against the Packers, and today the Green and Gold are hoping for a repeat on their home turf. In that first matchup, Aaron Rodgers threw for 364 yards and 4 scores, while as a whole, the offense gained more than 500 yards.
You can tell that they're getting more comfortable playing with one another, although the scheme's the same, and Coach Zimmer's been doing that scheme for a really long time. The scheme is really, really sound. You know, it's going to be a challenge. That they play extremely hard. I don't care what necessarily the numbers say.
The Packers are heading into today's game now alone on top of the NFC North. Besides Rodgers and his arm, another player to watch today is Davante Adams, who in his last 3 games against the Vikings had 34 catches, 378 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Those numbers alone are very impressive, but the best part, Mike Zimmer saw it coming and his defense just couldn't stop it.
He had a big one in week 1 that was not, the focus. It wasn't like we came in on that Wednesday or Monday or Tuesday and said, we're going to throw Davante 15 targets. It was more just a product of, on 3rd downs with a lot of man coverage, he had the opportunities. He had some one-on-ones and he made some great plays.
Now for the bad news. For the 2nd week in a row, the Packers will be without Aaron Jones. The running back is still sidelined with a calf injury. The rest of the team will kick off today at noon. 2020 has been called the year of the road trip, as many families remain skeptical about flying, and AAA is out with a new tool to keep you safe when you hit the road. Plus, the holiday shopping season has begun. A look at the year's hottest new toys and the classic that's making quite the comeback.
Before you make plans, download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app.
The Lexus ES. Every curve, every innovation, every feeling. A product of mastery.
Lease the 2020 ES 350 for $359 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Here's the deal. On taxes, nobody should pay more than their fair share. Joe Biden agrees. That's why if you make less than $400,000 a year, your taxes won't go up 1 penny. Hear that? Not 1 penny. Because working families deserve a break, not the wealthy and well-connected. Trump's tax plan gives away $1.3 trillion to the big banks and corporations, and we get stuck with the bill. He's only ever looked out for them, never for us. It's time for a change.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Aren't you tired of being tired? Shop Denver Mattress today and get all the Z's you need.
And during the Veterans Day sale, check out the budget-friendly Summit Firm. Easy on the wallet for only $189.99. Shop our Doctor's Choice Original lineup starting at only $569.99. And to celebrate our newest arrival, test out the outrageously comfortable Casper mattress. Plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and hello to a better night's sleep. Only at Denver Mattress.
Are you happy with your Medicare plan? Want to get more for your money? Take a look at Quartz Medicare Advantage plans in partnership with UW Health. Quartz Medicare Advantage plans start at $0 a month, including coverage for medical, hospital, and prescriptions, with $5 primary care visits, $0 preventive care, and $0 telehealth visits. It's no wonder that 98% of our Medicare Advantage members stay with Quartz. Learn more by requesting your free planning guide from Quartz today. Quartz also offers more value, including dental, vision, and hearing benefits. And Quartz gives you extras, like dollars for over-the-counter products and fitness benefits, from a plan that works closely with your doctor to take great care of you. This year, switch to Quartz Medicare Advantage. Call or go online to request your free planning guide from Quartz today.
Incomparable design makes it beautiful. State-of-the-art technology makes it brilliant. The visionary Lexus NX.
Lease the 2020 NX 300 for $339 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Trending this morning, now that we're in November, AAA is out with a couple of resources to help you plan a safe holiday road trip. The company now has a COVID-19 travel restriction map showing which parts of the country are experiencing spikes and where there are travel restrictions. The map allows you to personalize and plan your whole route down to every rest stop and restaurant.
That's because road trips provide a lot of flexibility and especially this time around, comfort. You're in your own vehicle, you're among your family, you're among your friends.
If you're traveling this month or next, doctors recommend taking Clorox spray and 70% alcohol wipes with you to wipe down surfaces like handles at gas stations or remotes at hotels. If you don't have any travel plans but still need some rejuvenation, don't we all? Our partners at Madison Magazine are out with a list of ideas for a safe staycation amid the pandemic. Editors define a staycation as 3 things. It limits travel, puts money back in the local economy by helping struggling small businesses, and doesn't cost you a whole lot. You can find the best local places to stay, eat, and drink safely in the November edition of Madison Magazine, now in grocery stores. With Halloween behind us, the holiday shopping season is officially underway, and according to a recent survey, nearly half of all Americans have already started buying holiday gifts. Experts say foot traffic in retail stores is down, and consumers are spending less overall. Around 52% expect their total holiday spending to be less than last year, and most plan to do their holiday shopping online. So if you're hunting for the perfect present for your children, Jeffrey is back to help. Toys R Us is bringing back its Jeffrey's Hot Toy List with the top 20 toys of the year. The 2020 list includes toys from popular brands like Barbie, Hot Wheels, and Lego. Other standouts include characters like Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian. And another big hit this year is a classic and a game that seems to go on forever, Monopoly. Sales of the board game are soaring. Hasbro, the maker of Monopoly, is reporting a 21% jump in gaming sales as a result of homebound people looking for ways to pass their time. I don't think I've ever finished a whole game myself. It's 7:26 this morning, and it is the final weekend before Election Day. Next, we're getting you ready.
We want to make it as easy as possible to get people to where they need to be and vote during this election.
Where you can vote, how to stay safe at the polls, and more. Megan from the Wisconsin Elections Commission is answering all of your last-minute questions right after this.
For almost 50 years, Feldco's provided the Midwest with the industry's best home renewal experience. In doing so, we're improving lives one home at a time. Before the winter weather moves in, take advantage of 20% off all windows, siding, and doors, and keep your family safe, warm, and comfortable all season long. Start your home improvement project with Feldco today. 20% off won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
And how you can protest. Let's turn off the noise and look at the facts about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's government-run health care plan. Their plan could lead to hospitals being closed, put Medicare coverage at risk, and give benefits to illegal immigrants. Their plan is just too dangerous for seniors like us. No amount of noise will change that. Learn more at seniorsbeware.com.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
He's our independent voice who answers to no one but us, Todd Novak. Todd Novak is working across the aisle, passing the bipartisan COVID-19 relief bill, helping hospitals and communities get the resources needed to fight the coronavirus. Todd Novak is helping families, small businesses, and farmers as we work to rebuild the economy safely. And Todd Novak led the bipartisan effort to make sure our water is clean and safe for future generations. Our voice, Todd Novak for State Assembly.
Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. Because of this, we built Ford Edge with intelligent all-wheel drive. Because of this, we built Ford EcoSport to give you traction when and where you need it. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand. Choose FlexBuy and get Escape with 0 for 66 financing, plus $1,500 cash and $1,000 retail trade assist.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. This drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-670-2995.
The rules are clear. One person, one vote. News 3 Now shows you how to be sure your absentee ballot was received and what'll happen if you try to vote twice.
I'm confident that the systems we have in place will protect the security of our elections.
Monday at 10. Wisconsin's votes will matter. That's why on election night, News 3 Now is committed to covering the local vote live on Channel 3000 and on our digital streaming service, Channel 3000 Plus. Download it now. Join the News 3 Now team as we track an election like no other. This is News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back and happy Sunday, everyone. It is November 1st, and that means there are just 2 days until the election. And there is one deadline coming up today. If you have not already voted and you would like to do so in person before Election Day, today is your last chance to vote in person absentee here in Wisconsin. We have a list of voting locations and times posted on our website. You can find those under the Elections tab on channel3000.com. You can also hand deliver your absentee ballot, but do not mail it in at this point. There is no longer enough time for that. Instead, drop it off at the clerk's office or at one of the drop boxes around town anytime before 8 o'clock on election night. And remember, you can, of course, still vote in person on Election Day. Even as COVID cases rise, poll workers are ready to keep you safe.
Wear a mask, keep your distance from others to at least 6 feet, and wash your hands.
The election polling places statewide are stocked with disposable pens and plenty of PPE. One thing you will have to bring yourself, though, whether you vote early or on Election Day, is a valid ID. The address on that ID does not have to match your current address, but your name does have to match what the clerk has in their poll book. The Wisconsin Elections Commission has been busy these past few weeks, to say the least, answering last-minute voter questions. Megan Wolf joins us this morning to answer a few of the most common and overlooked. Good morning, Megan. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Well, good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
So what I've been seeing a lot of messages of is people concerned about if they're able to change their vote. If they already have voted and sent in their ballot early, is there any way at this point they can change?
So state law, so this isn't a policy decision, but state law says that if you've returned your absentee ballot, so if you sent it back in the mail, if it's been received or returned to your clerk, that you may not vote a in-person ballot at the polls on Election Day. There were opportunities to potentially cancel that ballot if a person chose to appear in person, but at this time, those deadlines have passed. And so if you have returned your absentee ballot, even if it hasn't made it back yet, you are not eligible to vote a ballot at the polls on Election Day.
And speaking of deadlines, another deadline has passed to mail in your ballot. There's not enough time anymore to drop that absentee ballot in the mail. It won't get to you guys in time for Election Day. So if somebody didn't know this and perhaps they put their ballot in the mail on Friday or Saturday, is there anything they can do at this point?
Well, you can track your ballot. So voters should go to myvote.wi.gov. And that's the state's official website where you can track your absentee ballot. You can see if it's arrived at your clerk's office. You can check your voter registration. You can find your polling place. But if you've returned your absentee ballot, there is no option for you to be able to cast an in-person ballot. So all of the information in the statewide voter registration database is displayed on the poll book. So if somebody has been issued an absentee ballot and has returned it, again, even if it's on transit, they're not eligible to receive another ballot at the polls on Election Day.
That's good information to know. This morning we reported that Wisconsin is one of 5 states that officials are warning that they might see militia members stationed outside the polls. So what should a voter do if they arrive at their polling place and they feel intimidated by people outside of that location?
Sure. So first of all, I think it's important to note that there's no information to lead us to believe that there will be any specific threats against polling sites. And I think that, Wisconsin voters should really feel confident if they choose to cast their ballot at the polls on Election Day. Tuesday's election is going to be safe. It's going to be secure, and your ballot is going to be counted. And we've also been working with our local election officials over the course of the last few years on contingency planning. So contingency planning is nothing new to your local election official because they create plans to ensure that if they do have an issue at the polls on Election Day, if something is to arise, that they can quickly engage law enforcement and they can avoid any disruption at the polling places. And so if anybody does feel intimidated at the polls or they see an issue, they should bring that to the attention of their chief inspector, because again, those local election officials are trained in contingency planning and are able to engage law enforcement when that's appropriate and to continue the orderly conduct of the election at the polls.
And hundreds of members of the National Guard have been activated as well, so that should provide some peace of mind. Last question I wanted to ask, if somebody the polls close at 8 p.m. at night, so if somebody gets in line, say at 7:59 at night, will they still be able to vote, or do they have to have physically casted their ballot by 8 o'clock?
Yeah, if you're in line by 8 o'clock, the law says that you're able to proceed to vote, to cast your ballot. So at 8 o'clock, they're going to mark the last sort of person in line. They're going to have someone step in line. Usually they have a yellow vest on or something that shows this is where the line was at 8 o'clock. And so anybody that has been in line already will be able to proceed to cast their ballot.
This is all great information to know. Megan, thank you so much for making time to talk to us. I know you are so busy right now, so thank you for spending what was supposed to be a day of rest, Sunday, on air with us. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Wishing you a great election week. Now let's change things up. Another change on the way has to do with the weather, but this one is actually good news, Aaron.
Yeah, it certainly is. After we get through today, we're going to see some nicer weather in the forecast through much of the extended forecast as well. But before we get into that, I want to talk about the tropics. We talked about this area of showers and thunderstorms yesterday. This has actually now developed into Tropical Storm Eta. This is going to be making its way through the Western Caribbean over the course of the next couple of days, likely to become a Category 1 hurricane as we head into Tuesday. You can see winds sustained at about 90 miles per hour on Tuesday. Right now it's at 40, so it is a minimal tropical storm, but likely to make landfall in Central America going through the next couple of days. Meanwhile, back here in Wisconsin, we got the chilly weather in the forecast today. Temperatures are down into the 20s and 30s. We have 31 in Madison, 29 in the Dells, 36 in Janesville, 32 in Monroe, 32 in Mineral Point, and 33 in Boscobel. Now, when you factor in the wind that we have this morning, we have winds about 10 to 25 miles per hour, some gusts up to over 30. We have wind chills down into the teens and 20s. So it is a chilly start to your Sunday, and it's going to be a chilly day overall. A little bit more sunshine for the afternoon. 38 degrees will be your high. But like I mentioned, we have some nicer weather in the forecast. Talk about 60s for highs in the extended forecast. I'll have a look at that in just a bit.
Thank you, Aaron. Wisconsin is heading into election week, not only as a national political focus, but as a major health concern. Our state averaged nearly 5,000 new coronavirus cases every day this week, prompting Governor Tony Evers to ask you to shelter in place. The governor told reporters that he wants people to voluntarily stay home and limit their interactions to their immediate family. He issued a stay-at-home order back in March, but the conservative-controlled state Supreme Court struck that down. A state appeals court also blocked another Evers order last week, limiting the size of public indoor gatherings. The nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, isn't mincing words, calling the number of new coronavirus cases, quote, stunning. He says surging numbers are not the result of more testing. These new cases are serious, prompting even Republican governors to consider issuing mask mandates.
We're going to have many more hospitalizations, and that will inevitably lead to more deaths. You're using the word mandating masks. Yes, if that works, let's do it.
The governors of Missouri and Indiana are now considering mask mandates as their hospitals near capacity. If that doesn't happen, COVID deaths in the U.S. could still get worse. The University of Washington has been producing this model since the early days of the pandemic. Its latest revision is forecasting just under 400,000 deaths in the U.S. by February. Researchers say if states don't reimpose mandates, that number could reach more than 500,000. Scientists involved with the model say that rate could be reduced if more people would follow health guidelines. Right now, Wisconsin is adding an additional 71 testing sites across 56 counties and 7 tribal nations that will provide free COVID tests through at least December 10th. The sites are a mix of places like pharmacies and community centers. Every site won't be open every day. Times and places are listed on the DHS website, but altogether the sites will be able to test up to 48,000 people every week.
It is important, if you get a positive test, that you stay home and isolate from others in your household and certainly others outside of your household until you are symptom-free for at least 3 days.
Health officials want people who test positive to help contact trace by notifying those who have been in close contact with them. DHS is also strongly advising those who test negative not to see it as a ticket to go to larger gatherings or visit people. They continue to reinforce social distancing and the importance of wearing a mask. It's 7:39 this morning. Between the pandemic and politics, it can feel like negativity is everywhere. But one Madison woman is proving positivity is just as easy to find and to spread. Her incredible story is next. Plus, we'll tell you about the creative ways staff at the American Family Children's Hospital is doing something good, making kids smile this holiday weekend. Our favorite stories of the week are right after this break.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive and it's nice and small. The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows regularly $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
To fix the economy, we have to get control over the virus.
We need increased federal support for testing, doubling the number of drive-through testing sites. It's a simple measure. Everyone needs to wear a mask in public. We need real plans, real guidelines, with uniform nationwide standards. It's a simple proposition, folks. We're all in this together. We got to fight this together. We'll emerge from this stronger because we did it together.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
How often does Todd Novak vote with Republican Party leadership? 100% of the time. That's right. Now he votes 100% of the time with the Republican Party. Novak voted with his party leadership to protect polluters and let insurance companies cut coverage for people with pre-existing conditions. Novak said he would be an independent voice, then sided with corporate special interests 100% of the time. Todd Novak has changed. He's not working for us.
Welcome back. Time for some of our favorite stories of the week. And first, a promising story of survival amid the surging pandemic. After a 4-month battle with COVID-19, Carmen Lerma says she's never been happier to wake up in a hospital bed. She's now recovering from a double lung transplant, which she needed after contracting the virus in July. Carmen had spent 45 days on a ventilator at Ascension St. Francis Hospital in Milwaukee. Now she's calling her story nothing short of a miracle.
It was like a relief, but it was more of a relief when they took the tubes out of my mouth and I was able to take that deep breath by myself. These doctors gave me life back. The donor family gave me life back. So I think the least I could do is fight.
Her fight really puts everything into perspective. Carmen says she is grateful for everyone who has stood by her side and the doctors who spent hours putting everything aside to save her life. Between the devastating pandemic and politics, it can feel like negativity is everywhere nowadays. But Doris Gasson from Madison's East Side is proving that positivity is everywhere too. She's making Be Kind signs and now has 5,000 and counting. Doris got the idea from a woman in Virginia who she saw making signs and asking others to do the same. Now these female do-gooders call themselves kindness angels.
I don't understand what I've done. I guess other people keep saying, you know, how great this is, and I almost don't fathom it. We're just doing it, you know, and I think I'd be lost if I quit.
Doris has plenty of signs to give away, so if you would like one, we've posted her contact information on our website. And the American Family Children's Hospital is making sure patients have a fun and safe holiday weekend. Normally, hospital nurses organize group gatherings, games, and costume contests for patients. But this year, they obviously had to come up with a plan B. So they've been playing Halloween movies on TVs in patients' rooms, reading kids' holiday books in their beds, and even playing rounds of virtual bingo. All of these activities are meant to take a child's mind off of being in the hospital, at least for a little while.
Helps cope with being in the hospital. It might be a smile that they get once a day. It might be a child that's actually participating in something that is more fun, a craft activity, a song. That maybe the rest of the day there isn't that opportunity, or they're just not feeling well enough, so it can kind of pull you out of there a little bit, make you feel better.
The hospital also hosted reverse trick-or-treating, where Halloween fun bags were dropped off at every patient's room. And the Halloween fun isn't over for all of us just yet. Our partners at Madison Magazine are hosting a Halloween costume contest. Send in photos of your spooky or fun costume for a chance to win a free one-year subscription. Submissions will be accepted through tomorrow. You can enter at madisonmagazine.com. Hope you enjoyed that extra hour of sleep overnight. Daylight saving time ended, and warmer work week weather is headed our way. As we head to break, let's take a live look over the Capitol. Aaron will have our full forecast right after this. And we also want to celebrate who's turning 3 years old today. So happy birthday, little Lucas. I love your smile. We now need more of that right now. If you have a little kid turning 3 years old, please send us their picture so we can celebrate them here on News 3.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Question: are you happy with your Medicare plan? Want to get more for your money? Take a look at Quartz Medicare Advantage plans in partnership with UW Health. Quartz Medicare Advantage plans start at $0 a month, including coverage for medical, hospital, and prescriptions. With $5 primary care visits, $0 preventive care, specialist copays as low as $25, and new this year, $0 telehealth visits, allowing you to see a doctor from the comfort of home. It's no wonder that 98% of our members choose to stay with Quartz. That's loyalty we strive to earn every day. Learn more by requesting your free planning guide from Quartz today, featuring cost and coverage details, plus other information to help you choose the right plan for you. Quartz Medicare Advantage plans also offer more value, with plans including preventive and comprehensive dental benefits with up to $550 reimbursement, vision benefits with up to $300 reimbursement for glasses or contacts, coverage for hearing exams and hearing aid copays as low as $700 per aid, and up to $160 reimbursement for over-the-counter health-related items. Quartz Medicare Advantage also includes fitness benefits and our new Snowbird travel benefits, giving you the same as in-network coverage as you travel across America. All from a plan that works closely with and gives you easy access to UW Health, an integrated health system serving more than 600,000 people each year. Together, we help you live well. Switch to Quartz Medicare Advantage. Call 888-718-7756 or visit quartzmedicareplans.com/enroll to request your free planning guide from Quartz today. That's 888-718-7756.
Your vote is your voice.
I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the age. And we'll rise up
This is your campaign. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome back. The time is now 7:49 on this Sunday morning, and we have some chilly weather in the forecast for today. It's also going to be rather windy through at least this morning into the early portion of this afternoon. The good news, though, we have some great weather in the forecast after today. So get through today. It's going to be actually pretty nice. Right now over Madison, we have the sun starting to show through some of the clouds right now. 31 degrees. We've had a few flurries out there. It's been a chilly morning with that wind out of the northwest at 16 miles per hour, dropping our wind chills down into the 20s, and we're basically going to be stuck in the 30s all day today. Today's high topping out at 38. And meanwhile, across southern Wisconsin, most of the area is into the lower to middle 30s. The Dells, though, at 29. We have 30 in Camp Douglas, 34 in Janesville, and 32 in Watertown. Notice our wind anywhere from 10 to 25 miles per hour out of the north and west. These are sustained winds, so we have some gusts actually over 30 miles per hour, even approaching 40 at times. Current gusts at 33 in Janesville, 37 in Waukesha, 31 in the Dells. So those are some pretty high gusts, and that's actually bringing our wind chill values down into the teens and 20s this morning. So it's a chilly start to the Sunday, and like I mentioned, we actually have some flurries showing up on radar. Not going to amount to anything. That's all going to dissipate pretty quickly. Meanwhile, to the north, up into the UP of Michigan, they're actually seeing some lake effect snow from Lake Superior. So it's that time of year where we start to see that happening just a bit more. And meanwhile, here just a couple flakes this morning, and that's going to end pretty quickly. Meanwhile, as we look at the upper air pattern, we have that trough building in. That's ushered in all that cold air for today. It's going to move out pretty quickly because we start to see a ridge building in for a majority of the work week. So notice all that green showing up, some yellows. That's an indication of some rather mild air as we see highs topping out into the 60s, some 70s across the Central Plains. And that's going to actually continue going into the weekend before we see a bit of a pattern shift as we head into the following work week. So for today, we'll see those clouds clearing out this morning. Eventually, a lot more sunshine for the afternoon hours. The wind staying pretty breezy, though. And notice our temperatures really only into the 30s, maybe touching 40 degrees around Boswell and parts of Grant and Crawford County. And we'll see temperatures dropping down into the 20s overnight tonight. So here's our forecast. High of around 38 degrees today, northwest wind 15 to 25. So it's going to be a cold and windy day. And then tonight we'll see clear skies and rather chilly conditions down to about 24 for your overnight low. And then with sunshine tomorrow, we'll see a high of around 53 degrees. Heading out to the polls on Election Day, Tuesday, 60 the high, sunshine, and that nice weather is going to stay in the forecast for quite some time as we see highs in the middle 60s by Friday and Saturday.
I'm glad we'll see good weather on Election Day because we don't need any barriers from people getting to the polls.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, you couldn't ask for better weather than that. Sunny and 60, I mean, in November.
You really never know what you're going to get here in Wisconsin,
Exactly.
So thank you, Aaron.
Sure thing.
Don't forget to download our streaming app, speaking of the election, Channel 3000 Plus, for the latest local and live coverage of Tuesday's election. Head to channel3000.com/apps to find your connection to our coverage. But first, this morning, they're not even old enough to vote themselves, but that isn't stopping these teens from making a difference this Tuesday. The special way they're keeping voters safe and how you can help them do that.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regular $89.99, now only $29.99. Or My Pillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive, and it's nice and small.
The My Pillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the My Pillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
My Pillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on My Pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows regular $89.99, now only $29.99. Or My Pillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Todd Novak's doing a great job. Just ask his opponent, Chris Marion. She sent Novak the nicest notes, like this email.
Todd, I have nothing but admiration for the job you're doing.
And when Marion was running for state senate, she even reached out to Todd saying,
I aspire to be the Todd Novak of the Senate.
Quite the endorsement. So take it from Chris Marion herself.
I have nothing but admiration. I aspire to be the Todd Novak of the Senate.
Todd Novak, an independent voice, our hardworking state representative.
This election season, News 3 Now has been your source with the facts about the 2020 vote. We've shown you how to request and track your ballot. We've put the race in perspective, discovering where the candidates need to deliver to win in Wisconsin. It all leads to Election Day, where you can expect more facts, more in-depth analysis, more reporters gathering new details, more experts answering your questions, all led by a team you can trust. The News 3 Now team is ready for an election like no other.
Finally this morning, they're not even old enough to vote themselves, but a group of Tennessee teens is making a difference in this week's election.
Someone fought for your right to vote, and so you should use it.
When the Green Hills High School students heard some people in their community weren't planning to vote this year because of the coronavirus, they decided to do something to help. So they created kits to help voters feel confident and stay safe at the polls. Veronica Pierce, a sophomore, and her sister Mary Alice, a freshman, had the idea to stuff bags with masks, hand sanitizer, and gloves for people to take with them when they go vote. They recruited some friends to help, and once they heard about record-breaking voter turnout, they picked up their pace.
It was just extraordinary to us, and at that moment, we knew that, we were in business.
2 weeks into their campaign, the girls had made approximately 1,000 kits. They're now partnering with organizations like 50 Forward, where their kits are passed out to people who are at most risk for a serious infection. They've been receiving requests regularly from their partners for more kits, which cost about $3 to make. So you can make donations if you'd like to help them out on Safe Vote Kits website. It's a great cause there. I love to see kids doing something good.
Oh,
and
definitely.
We do have something else to talk about this morning. This is your last morning with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where you're going.
Yeah, it's been great. Working here and stuff over the last 4 months. I'm actually heading to Rochester, Minnesota to work as the chief meteorologist at KIMT there. So looking forward to that. I'm definitely going to miss Madison. It's been great here over the last 4 months that I've been working here, but 3 years that I've actually lived here. So
congratulations. It's honestly been a pleasure working with you. That job is so well deserved, and you will